Hey, this is Kevin from Kevin's Barbecue Joint, and I'm excited to announce a new partnership with the Smoke Sheet, which is a barbecue newsletter created by Ryan Cooper, the barbecue tourist, and Sean Ludwig, who is NYC Barbecue, both super knowledgeable barbecue guys who have traveled the country trying out barbecue. And this barbecue newsletter is one of those newsletters that you actually read, that you actually really want to get. It's an email that you will open up and learn something every week. There's a barbecue news, barbecue joint closures and openings, or second barbecue locations that are popping up. There's links to podcasts and YouTube stuff and book recommendations and a recipe of the week. It's just chock full of information, and it's super easy to sign up. I'll put a link in the show notes. It's bbqnewsletter.com. That's bbqnewsletter.com. And the Smoke Sheet is barbecue news worth consuming. Really excited to have them on board. And in this episode, I get a chance to talk to Dennis Roach from Cucaracho Smokers in Saginaw, Texas, which is near Fort Worth. This one's really cool. Dennis is such a cool guy, and I've wanted to talk to him for a while. I followed him on Instagram, and then I found out he was making double 500s for Moose Craft Barbecue here in Los Angeles, which gave me more incentive. And I talked to Andrew and Michelle and Moose Craft, and they said how great a guy he was. And doing these interviews, I want to talk to people in all different facets of the barbecue, meat, and food world, and I definitely want to talk to people making smokers, big and small. And Dennis doesn't have a large operation. He currently, I interviewed him in November, and it's taken me a little while to get this together. It's now mid-February, and he is booked out till September. And then once he starts production, it takes him 3 to 4 weeks. It's a really interesting story. He grew up welding, doing that, and working on projects with his dad. But he didn't know that he was going to be going into the smoker and pit building business. So it's interesting to hear his path, and we go every step of the way. And I think you're going to really love that, and just get some insight into what he's doing. And it kind of gives you an idea if you're interested in maybe going into welding or going into perhaps pit building. This would be a good avenue to listen to him and hear him. And I have other pit builders that I've interviewed that I'll be editing and putting online. So that way I'll give you a chance to see kind of what's out there. And perhaps if you're looking to buy a pit, this will help you out a little bit. If you're digging these, please subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of them. I have a website at kevinsbbqjoints.com with tons of more information with links to all my podcasts and YouTube stuff. But thanks so much. Enjoy. Well, good morning, Dennis. How you doing?
Good. Doing good.
What's a usual day for you?
Usually, I get up and like I said, I take my kids to school in the morning, and then after that, I come home and I get after it.
Get after it, meaning welding.
Yeah, getting going on the pits.
Did you grow up because right now your business location is outside of Fort Worth, right?
Yeah, I'm in Saginaw, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you grow up in Fort Worth or?
No, I grew up in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Dallas. Went to school. Grew up in Dallas. We moved out of Dallas and ended up moving to Irving, which is just a little sub community of Dallas. So I grew up there most of my school years. Went there.
Okay. Were you welding at school? Was that like a class that you took that you got into, or?
Oh, it's my dad.
Okay.
He's an industrial mechanic, and he's always been working on stuff ever since I was a little bitty kid. So, he was always dragging me outside doing stuff with him.
Isn't that cool?
So it's kind of how I got into it all.
I wonder if that's kind of gone away a little bit. I don't know if every kid, if their dads are hands-on like my dad was like that too. He could build almost anything.
Yeah, that's how he was, and then I'd be, even on the weekends when I'd be, I was a little kid trying to sleep, he'd come in and drag me out of bed, get outside, go help him do things,
But it taught you a lot of great lessons, right?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
wish I would have paid attention more. Now that I look back at it, I should have paid a lot more attention,
Same with me. I've talked about that too with like electrical stuff. My dad could do better than an electrician for a house, and I'd paid zero attention to it because I was so bad.
Exactly.
It's so bad. So then, but was he welding too?
Oh yeah, he was a welder. He's been a mechanic, an industrial mechanic for the last 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's been in it for a long time.
So when did you get the barbecue bug? Because I think I was reading it, and also too, I want to kind of get to the Daniel Vaughn Texas Monthly article because that was kind of cool. That was
yeah.
Okay, so were you always obviously growing up in Texas, you ate a lot of barbecue, I'd imagine.
Yeah. It was just it's just a regular thing to eat barbecue. We eat it pretty often, but I didn't really get involved, get into it till we bought our first house, like in 2014, beginning of 2014. That's when I really got involved in it. I started wanting to cook brisket, cook barbecue myself. So I messed up a few, probably 6 or 7 briskets
Uh-huh.
before I kind of had an idea of what I was doing.
You have
So
to. You have to.
from there, and it was just on a little bitty. At the time, I bought one of those little Traeger pellet grills.
Okay.
I had a little Traeger pellet grill, and I was cooking on that. So then I was like, man, this isn't right. Like, I need a real offset cooker.
Mm-hmm.
So I started getting involved, looking at that, and then I started looking at different barbecue restaurants, what they were doing.
Yeah, I was going to ask, were you like kind of spying what they were doing, like just noticing like, oh, this is how they do it?
Yeah, I was noticing everybody's cooking on these offsets. So I'm like, that's what I need. I need the right cooker. If I'm going to cook the right brisket, I need the right cooker.
Nice. Okay.
So that was my whole thing. And then I went to the first place that I actually went to that was well known was Franklin's. I went to Franklin's first. My first stop was Franklin's, and then once I was there, I was hooked on it. I was like, no, this is real barbecue. There's other barbecue places I've been eating at. They're like a chain.
No, yeah.
And I didn't know no better.
Yeah. Well, I don't, and most people don't. And I think a lot of people too. It's that visit for maybe South by Southwest, and they go to Franklin, and they're like, okay, now I kind of get it. I understand. Yeah. Did you wait in the line? Was it a big line that time?
Oh yeah. I waited. I got there. My first time I went, I think I got there like around 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
I was probably like 13th in line. So and then it's 4-hour wait. It's waiting on brisket.
Brisket sauce. Yeah, it's so.
Oh yeah, I got a tray. I spent like $120 on a tray. Barbecue. You're only gonna eat a little bit of it, but you take the rest home.
Yeah, because a lot of people go together too. I wonder what the average ticket is for Franklin. I bet it's like easily over 100.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they go through the line. They ask you, how much barbecue think you're gonna get. So they try to cut the line off at a certain time because they know it's gonna sell out, but they don't want people waiting out there and not gonna get nothing.
Yeah, I know. And that's because how sad is that?
Yeah, that sucks.
Can't wait 5 hours for zero food.
Yeah.
At least that is a nice thing. And I think, don't they say that like if they do the cutoff for people that are listening that haven't been there, there's still a potential those people behind might get it, but chances are you won't, right? Isn't that?
Yeah. Because some people they change their mind on what they want once they get up there. They might not get as much as they were planning, what they initially said. So, there could be a chance for more barbecue.
Yeah, that's true. So then after you had that, did you go home and say, I'm going to make a 250 gallon? Or?
I started researching them. Because, I was going to buy one, from somebody who manufactured them. I was going to look for somebody and buy one, but I was like, you know what, I can build this myself. And I know what I'm capable of doing, so I know it's going to be a nice cooker.
And how did that one turn out?
It turned out good. I built a 250.
Okay.
250 was my first one I built. I had it for a while, and then I ended up changing my mind. I was like, I want something bigger because the 250, like I cooked for like my daughter's birthday and like other family events. And next thing you know, like I was like, I need more room. This isn't enough room. I need something bigger.
Yeah.
So then I went ahead and that's when I got rid of that one. And then I built a 500 gallon for myself.
No, this is, and maybe this is a trade secret, but I think no one ever talks about where are people getting these propane tanks? Are they just old ones that were like?
Yeah, they're just like some people like a lot of places down here like they're on a lot of the houses. They used to have propane tanks outside. They ran off.
Like were they buried? Is that how they were? Or they were?
No, they're above ground.
Above ground, okay.
Yeah, they're above ground, and some people they buy a property and this old tank's just sitting on their property and they want it gone.
Huh.
Like they don't need it anymore. They want it gone. So there's that, and then some people they eventually convert their house to the electrical, so they don't need the propane no more.
Yeah.
So then they do away with the tanks that way. But a lot of times, like when I was finding tanks, when I was hunting for tanks, it was mostly like hunting on Craigslist.
Yeah, I was going to ask Craigslist probably. Is that?
Yeah, sites like that. Just trying to hunt tanks down, and then. After that, I started going to propane companies.
Because they have like old ones that they don't use anymore?
Because, you figure they're going to get new ones. They have new ones there, but, they're going to get old ones that people are going to upgrade from or whatever, and they probably say they'll dispose of them. So then they take them back to the yard, and then you get them at a better price,
These propane companies, they're making these from scratch, or are they getting them from something too and refurbishing them?
Yeah, they make them from scratch. They make them brand new.
Okay.
Yeah, they make them brand new.
And there's another stupid question. Do people ever get propane tanks that are like flawed, and then so you have to repair them within the process of making the smoker?
No, not really. I mean, the tanks that they're getting rid of, these companies are getting rid of that are saying no good, they'll have like a pinhole or something, and where they can't hold propane in them,
Gotcha.
or it's something where they can't fix. If it's a valve or something like that, they don't want to mess with it. They just scrap them.
Yeah.
So that's perfect for us because we're making smokers out of them. We don't need them to
Hold
hold
propane.
propane. Yeah, we just need them to hold heat.
Yeah, exactly. Retain the heat. You made the 500, and did you like what you made? And were you asking people questions like other people that made these, or were you researching more online because like the firebox and all that?
Yeah, it was just I really like the offset. I like the simplicity of it. I don't like all the tuning plates and all the other stuff. Like I don't think you need that stuff.
Okay.
So just a simple offset smoker. Keep it simple. And they work great. They flow, airflow is real good through them. Like these big smokers, you need a big firebox and a big stack. That's all you need them.
But there are ways to tweak the airflow, right? Isn't that sort of?
Yeah. I mean, usually, you got your firebox. It's a good size firebox, good size stack. I mean, you control your heat with the door, or you control your heat with the dampener on top of the stack. Yeah. So most of the time, I just control with the door. But like when I was going through the whole process of making it, like my first one, it's just trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
I'd cut the exchange out a little bit bigger as I went. I'd cook on it for a while, see how it cooked. If I liked the way it cooked, and I was like, well, let me try a little bit more. Now go back and cut more of the exchange out. It's just little stuff like that.
And doing that at the beginning, you weren't thinking about selling them.
No. It was just for me. It was personal use for me. And I had got friends of mine. They were like, hey man, you should start building them and selling them. And I'm like, nah, I'm too lazy for that. I don't want to do that. Because I work a full-time job. I was working for Owens Corning,
Okay.
a roofing manufacturer. I worked there for 10 years.
Gotcha.
I was an industrial mechanic and welder there. Welder and fabricator. I did all the pipe work and anything they needed done there. I did all that. I was full-time there. And that's a 7-day, 24 hours. 24-hour a day operation.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, so I work in 6 days, 6 or 7 days straight sometimes, so I was like, I don't have any time to build these, I got one for me and I cook when I'm off and then that's it, that's how it kind of started, and then I got to where I was just not happy there anymore. I've been there for so long and just wasn't happy there, wasn't happy what I was doing. And so I just thought, this was a planned device between me and my wife. She's like, well, why don't you do it? Why don't you go ahead and start building smokers? And I was just, for a while, I was like, I don't know. I don't want to take that jump. I was kind of scared to take the leap into doing it,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, but eventually I got fed up with my job enough to where I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start building these.
Who did you make your first? And El Cucaracha, is that like a nickname you've had before or something? Or?
Well, my last name is Roach.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it is Roach.
That's where it comes from. Yeah, my last name is Roach. That's where that comes from.
Oh, that's yeah. Okay, yeah, I should have known that.
That's what Daniel Vaughn, when he came over, he did the same thing. He's like, where'd the name come? He's like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, your last name's Roach.
Okay, I won't make that mistake. But actually, now people can find you for sure. Dennis Roach, is he?
Yeah, exactly.
So who was the first person you made one for?
The first person I made one for, well, I made one. I made that 500, okay. And then my plan was, to go ahead and start selling them. So I built that one, and then I was going to start selling them to buy, tools and things I need here to start building them.
Yeah.
So then I put that one up for sale, and Joe Zavala ended up buying that one.
Gotcha. Zavala's Barbecue.
Yeah, Zavala's Barbecue. They bought that 500 gallon. So they bought my first one. And then after that, I started advertising more. I mean, all my advertising only ever been on Instagram. It's always just been Instagram. And then I had a guy from West Virginia contact me and wanted me to build a pit. He's starting a barbecue restaurant up there in West Virginia,
okay.
Wheeling, West Virginia. I built him a 500 on a trailer. And then after that one, I posted a bunch of stuff about it, a bunch of pictures and stuff like that about it. And then next thing you know, I started getting more people interested in it. So then, after that, it just kept going, So right now, I'm booked through May of next year.
Wow. Okay, I was going to ask you how far out. That is pretty incredible. Don't you think? Like, would you ever have thought that you?
No, I never thought it would come to that. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It's great that people, they love these pits enough, to go ahead and order, and they want me to build it for them.
Here's a quick question: what do your neighbors think?
I don't know. I don't really. That's the thing. Like our neighbors, we've lived here for 5 years, and only had contact with one neighbor, like the guy across the street. He's
Okay.
cool. He's he cooks barbecue, but he's always outside cooking,
Uh-huh.
in the front. But the neighbors on both sides of me, I don't know. They don't really talk to me, so maybe that's why they don't talk to me. I don't know.
Probably not. But it's you do them in your garage, or do you do them in
Yeah, yeah. I build out of my garage right now. Like I want to stay here in my house, building them as long as I can,
Mhm.
just for the reason of cost. It
Oh
keeps the
yeah,
cost down for the customer. It keeps the cost down for me.
for sure.
Yeah, so that's the whole reason behind me being here right now. Like I'll stay here as long as I can until I start getting complaints, and then I'm gonna be okay. I got to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's kind of it's good, and at the same time it's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain just for the simple fact that I can't just keep a whole bunch of tanks stored out here. And I have nowhere for storage but keep like two at a time on a trailer.
Gotcha. Okay, I was gonna ask. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I keep a couple on the side of my house because I have a side of my house where my fence opens up where I can back up in there.
Uh-huh.
I'll keep the fire boxes right there because those are easier to get to. The smaller tanks than the big ones. So the big ones, leave them on the trailer until I'm ready to work on them, and then I put them in the garage.
Do you just do you have a trailer that you use to pick those up? Is that?
Yeah, yeah. I just got, I got a trailer. I put them on a trailer, and I got a gantry crane in my garage to lift them off the trailer. That's what I use everything to move them around with. And once they're in the garage, I got a crane in the garage.
Okay, I was going to ask that too, because how would you get those from onto your trailer too? These
Yeah.
feel like stupid questions, but it's
Oh
just
no,
something
no.
I would never have known. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a gantry crane, and it's wide enough for me to pull my trailer in between. So I back the trailer up in between them, and then I pick them up with the crane, and then I pull the trailer out, and then set them up how I want to, set them up where I want to set them and start working on them.
Would you say this job there's danger involved in this too? Because it's like you're using fire, you're moving really heavy things, and there's sharp.
Yeah.
Is that something that have you ever hurt yourself doing this?
No, luckily, no, not yet.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't done it. I haven't hurt myself yet doing it. It's just
But you know what you're doing.
it all kinds of come with the territory. Even from being where I used to work at, and I was fabricator and everything there. It's just a lot of heavy metal.
Mm-hmm. Having to be super safe, and that's
Yeah, just got to be safe doing it.
Wow. Here's a quick jump back. Someone had mentioned to me like a year ago. They fabricate smokers out here. They were saying that welding is a great career for people. It's like for people that might not quite like if you're leaving college or you're just maybe going to enter college and you don't know what you want to do. Someone said welding is a really good idea. Do you recommend welding as a career? Or I know you were saying Owens Corning was something that at the end you didn't like.
Yeah, yeah. Just welding. I mean, it is a good career. You gotta have to. Like, I love welding.
Yeah.
I can weld all day. I have no problem with it. But as far as career wise, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of money to be made in welding.
You just have to work hard.
Welder. You can be a pipeline welder, or if you're going into fabricating, building race car chassis, stuff like that. Just it all depends. Kind of what you're into.
But it's something that if you're, and it uses a little artistic back. Like you have to think about things in a different way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
It's fun. It's fun building stuff. Like I love messing with metal. So like this isn't even work to me. This is fun. I love doing this.
So the best way that people get a hold of you is through Instagram, like direct message, or through your website.
Yeah, I mean either or. Like the emails we get through the website. My wife, she answers all that stuff.
Okay.
She takes care of that part of it for me. She's more computer savvy than I am, so she takes care of all that part for me. She does the social media stuff. She takes care of that too. Like now we have a page on Facebook. She takes care of all that. So
yeah, she does a great job. It's definitely
yeah. She like the website. She made the website.
Oh, awesome.
She made our logo. She made the logo.
Oh, cool.
So all credit for that stuff goes to her. I'm
Nice.
just a knucklehead welding. Making smokers. That's all I'm doing.
So today, do you have how many hours would you be welding, or how many hours can you physically weld before it becomes not?
Usually, like I said, I get out there probably about 8 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
By 8 in the morning, I'm out there, and I'm out there all day. I'm out there till sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning. It just depends, I don't do anything like after a certain hour, because I don't want to make a whole bunch of noise out there for the neighbors, So if I'm out there till 2 in the morning, it's work that I can do without making too much noise. But other than that, I get out there about 8. I come in and probably, we eat lunch around 12, and then I go back out there, and then I'm out there till, like I said, till I feel like coming inside.
Do you have headphones on while you're doing this?
No, I got an iPod with little Bluetooth speaker out there. That's what keeps me going.
So what can people or like just I know you're booked till May, but what are people what like if people want to know like what you're offering, like what kind of what do like is it like anything from 250 to 1,000? Is that something that?
Yeah. 250 to 1,000.
Okay.
250 to 1,000, and then I'm gonna be introducing a backyard smoker because I get a lot of inquiries about smaller smokers. Because everybody, so everybody wants smaller smokers, and so that's gonna be something I'm gonna be doing in the future. It's just like right now I'm just booked with all these these big smokers. I got mostly 500 gallons on trailers, and then a couple 500 gallons cookers on skids, some 250s on skids, and I got two 1,000s right now. I got to build in December. I'm building 1,000 gallon for Zavalas.
Oh, you're doing another?
Yeah, another 1,000 for them. And then like right now, I'm working on a double 500 for Moosecraft.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask about Moosecraft. Yeah, because I'm friends with Andrew and Michelle. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm working on their rig right now.
So it's a double 500 on a trailer.
Yeah, on a trailer. I'm excited about it. That's the first double 500 I've done.
And it's for Moosecraft Barbecue in Los Angeles, which
yeah for Moosecraft in Los Angeles. I followed Andrew like from when I had my first 250.
Really?
Like we kind of followed each other and talked back and forth. He was asking questions about it. So it's been cool to see them grow to what they've become now. Like they're.
I remember going to their backyard and like this like kind of their early style, and it was like a small operation, and now they have like almost Franklin style lines.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, and they're like two of the best people on the planet. So it's kind of it really is, and that's really and they're very excited when they told me about you. Number one, they like Andrew a million times said you gotta talk to Dennis. That he's just an awesome guy and he's doing great stuff. And then when they told me about the 2 500s, they're super excited about bringing that to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's cool. So that'll be pretty soon, right? Like if this is the date, we're in November 2nd, so pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be like another week or so.
Okay.
It'll be ready for them to pick up like another week.
And then they'll drive it.
Yeah, they'll drive it from here back to California.
Nice. Are there any other ones that you could mention, or are they all kind of secrets?
No. They're all. I mean, I got them lined up. I got a lot of guys like. They're just like they're starting out like a barbecue, like catering businesses, stuff like that. So I mean, like West Virginia, the first one I did went to West Virginia, and I took that one to West Virginia myself. Like I was like, I'm never doing that again. This is way too far.
How long did that take you?
I drove it out there. Me and my brother-in-law drove it out there. We drove it straight there and we drove straight back. So it was a crazy trip. It was those guys and then a couple other guys, like another guy in Austin. He's doing like catering gigs too.
Okay.
And then after him, it was another guy in South Texas. A couple guys in Arizona. Like I got Moosecraft, Zavalas, and then like Dane. I just built one for. I don't know if you follow Dane's Underground Barbecue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just built him a pit too. So I mean, they're all over the place. Like I got an order for one in Canada.
Really?
That's coming up. Yeah, at the beginning of the year.
Wow.
So it's going to Alberta, Canada.
Is it like an underground place or is it?
It's for a brewery.
Oh.
Brewery. I think it's Patty's Brewery.
Huh. So they want to be able to serve some barbecue.
Yeah. I think they do barbecue now, but they're looking for another rig, and it's gonna they're getting a 500 gallon on a trailer.
How long does it usually take you to fabricate it?
It usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
About 3 to 4 weeks, depending on it. Like a 250, it's a little less time, but like even on skids, it's a less time. The trailers, I build the trailers from the ground up myself too, so it's a custom built trailer.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I built the smokers, and then I set the smokers aside, then I built the trailer, and then I mount the smokers on the trailer.
And you're doing this all yourself?
Yeah. I do it myself. Occasionally, my dad, he had like the first two I built, he came over and helped me.
Yeah.
A little bit. But ever since then, he's been a no-show. So it's just me doing it out there by myself.
Do you get a chance to go eat barbecue now, or is it kind of you're so busy?
Yeah, well, the thing like here locally, I'll eat locally. Like I'll eat Zavalas. I eat Zavalas or like Panther City. They're close to me. So I hit Panther City up. They're real good. They're a good group of guys, and their food.
I've heard great things about Panther City. Yeah.
So, I'll go there because they're the closest to me,
Okay.
Panther City. But whenever I deliver pits down south, of course I got to stop somewhere, eat
Yeah.
barbecue. And I usually stop in Austin somewhere and eat, at a local place in Austin. I mean, as far as that, yeah, like cooking, I haven't been able to cook anything,
Yeah.
just because I've been so busy.
You can get donuts with your kids though, right?
I got to get donuts with the kids.
Did you kind of blow up when the article came out with Daniel Vaughn and Texas Monthly? What was your Instagram feed like that? Was that crazy?
Yeah, it got kind of crazy there for a minute. I got a bunch of inquiries, and I was like, oh man, it's fixing to really, take off to where I'm gonna have to move out of the garage. I'm gonna go get a shop ASAP,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of inquiries, a lot of people wanting, prices on pits and whatnot, and then, like, of course, I got a bunch of followers from that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was kind of cool how it came to be. Like, I was just, one day Daniel Vaughn, he just started following on Instagram. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, Daniel Vaughn's following me. It's pretty awesome. And then next thing you know, he messaged me. He's like, I want to come talk to you. I was like, oh,
Oh no.
okay, okay. So then, we set that up, and yeah, he came and talked to me, and I talked to Matt and Caleb, the guys from Millscale.
Mm-hmm.
That build smokers down there in Lockhart.
Yeah.
Like, those guys are really cool, and I talked to them, and Matt was telling me that Daniel's doing an article on pit builders.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. So and then I had a general idea of what he wanted to come over and talk about, so
That's cool.
yeah, that was a cool experience. That was my first. I've never done any kind of interviews or anything, so I mean.
Yeah, no, it's even probably this is like going from Owens Corning to talking to me, a guy in California, about what you do.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
But it's interesting. It's really obviously I love barbecue and you do too, and I think and people are probably interested in how, and especially too, like you're just like in the early stages of what is going to be a long career for you. So that's I was excited to talk to you now because someday you won't be able to you won't have time to talk to me at all.
Yeah, it's definitely it's been a fun ride this whole time, and everybody in barbecue, everybody's really nice. They're great people, so
Without a doubt.
Yeah, it's a good crowd to be around.
Oh yeah. I think it's the best. I really like it. If like it just they're so supportive and so like this and the barbecue these days is not that it wasn't always great, but it's spectacular. There's so many choices.
Yeah. Yep.
So many people.
There's so many choices for barbecue. And then here in Fort Worth, like it's starting to get more traction. You like Panther City, and then like Zavala's are opening up in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
Like all these good places are popping up everywhere.
Yeah, that's so great to have all these options and to always like it's hard. It really makes me angry because Los Angeles doesn't have a lot of options. It just I'm living here talking to you guys and it's like gosh.
Yeah, like I'm Cadillacs is right here in Dallas. Like I can go to Cadillacs anytime.
Hey, yeah, thanks. Now you're rubbing it.
Thursday and Fridays, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and Pecan Lodge. I mean, all these places they're close. So it's good to have options close.
It is, and you have a lot of the old school places too. Like we just don't like it, and it's all that specific Texas style, which a lot of us love, and that's really really cool. Well, Dennis, thank you so much for taking the time, and I appreciate what you're doing. I'm excited to see Moo's pits when they come out. It'll be 2 or 3 weeks, and that's awesome to see.
I said you'll be able to go out there and check them out in person.
Without a doubt, photograph them, and they're green, right?
No, they wanted green tanks, and I was looking for green tanks,
okay.
And like the company that I went to go pick them up at. I told them, I was like, I need green tanks. And they're like, well, we can give you whatever we can reach. Because, they got rows and rows of tanks, this place that I went to.
Yeah.
And there's another place. My wife found this place. I didn't even find it. She found it. And, it's just mountains of tanks out there.
Wow.
And I wanted green tanks. And they're like, well, we can only get what we can reach. So if you can find them, okay. So I didn't find any. They were in good shape, So then Andrew's like, okay, well, if we can't find green, let's go white. So then I found white ones. So they're white.
Oh, nice. So that's cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to help their capacity. It's going to like having 2 500s is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. 2 500s, and and these things are fully insulated. I know the weather's nice out in California, but it really helps no matter what the weather's like. It helps having insulated fireboxes.
And why is that important?
Just for fuel consumption, the amount of wood you burn, the longer you get out of a stick, a split of wood, it helps you rest more, helps the whoever's cooking on them, they get a little bit more rest in between,
For sure.
having to go out there and stoke your fire.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's just, these things cook great, man. I mean, these 500 gallons, they're Cadillacs. Like, anybody that's got them, they love them, Like,
Wow.
I built, like, Zavala's, they love their 500. Dane loves his. Roy and this other, these other guys I sold them to, they love these pits. So, it's great to see that these guys are getting these these smokers, and, they love them, and they're providing food for everybody. So, I mean, that's
Yeah, how great is that too? Like you're getting things that have been discarded at a propane yard or wherever, and now you're turning that into something that'll cook food, that'll nourish people, and make people fall in love with barbecue too. That's great.
Yep. Yeah, it's great.
I never thought of it exactly that way, but that's a cool little cycle.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for taking the time. And I'll look forward to. Hopefully, I can get a chance to visit you too when I'm in Texas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Come by,
Yeah.
maybe meet up, get some barbecue somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't want to take you away from too much of your welding, but it'd be cool. All right, cool. Well, enjoy your day. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks
You.
so much. All right.